someone, why to cling?
Yeah.
Why to reach out when he sad you without any reason? Oh, that let us end. Okay, end. If he
Yeah.
comes back, you welcome. But if you approach and then he gets annoyed and you also get annoyed,
Yeah. True.
so why you do it? There is no reason to do it.
True.
I used to play chess with my grandfather in long back in 85, 86. Perhaps in 87 he left. He was almost 85, 86. So I used to cheat those chess in the chess because he had a poor eyesight.
It's
But
funny.
he was so intelligent that he used to catch me. Oh, what the hell you are doing? So I remember that period has gone. Then my uncle died. Uncle died, yes. Uncle died. Uncle was very tough on himself. So, but he had a brain fever. He spent about a month in the hospital and
Hmm.
he was not in talking terms with me. And I said, oh, that's a totally different. He is in a problem. So I told my aunt that, I will be available all the time. So at least, I used to go every day to the hospital and to all kinds of help and support. And after a month, he died. Finished.
Hmm.
My my father died in 89. Then 91, my older brother died. So now, why I raise this question? They have left. Should I cling and continue to have an attachment?
No.
So one is the death, and other is the person leaves you, is associated with you and leaves you. Leave aside the death and the leaving. They both are almost the same.
I agree.
So we have to contemplate and reflect again and again that why this is happening. So I feel a sense of incompleteness. I feel the sense of incompleteness
Hmm.
because of absence of a person. Look from the other point of view, apply the wisdom. How long any person, including if you get married, how long your honey continues to stick with you? How many hours every day?
Yeah.
Just you talk for a few hours, sit in the for a lunch and a dining, and that's all. And in deep sleep, you are totally disconnected from the world outside, including everyone.
Yeah.
So, what I want to say, Master says that you have to see the truth in it. I love you, I cannot live without you. You have been living. When you have a deep sleep, you have been living without that, in the absence of that person. Do you still
Yeah.
remember in sleep that I'm living with my soulmate? Unnecessary. So, the society, there are many things my mind is prompting you to talk about it, but I will restrict. Society lives on unconsciousness, impulsiveness. Society lives on habit. Society lives on collective unconsciousness. It is not collective conscious approach. If there is a collective conscious approach in the human civilization, collective conscious approach, collective conscious living, in the human civilization of society and community, you don't need cops to maintain law and order. You don't need an army. You don't need the defense forces. You need not to control the violence. The violence is gone, the crime is gone, the reaction is gone.
Yeah.
So I have to see and check that I live consciously. I live consciously in the same society. Why? To prevent myself falling into delusion. Now I am coming to the topic. I have to live consciously in the same society that includes my honey, if my honey is not practicing Eastern wisdom, for example. In the home, my parents, my mom, my dad, my siblings, my friends, I have to live consciously. There is no choice. If I make this choice of conscious living, it becomes a joy of conscious living. But if I be dictated by the collective unconscious living of the society, then there is a problem. Why my dad became upset with me, I am sorry. Dad says, no, I don't take your sorry. So you get more disturbed. You get more disturbed. You are talking to your honey, and he says, I have seen you talking to that girl, and you don't have that wrong intention. And still your wife is chasing you. The wife wants to blame and complain. Your husband wants to blame and complain. What you can do? That is the nature of the society. So you take a conscious approach. Okay, I will not talk to that girl. If I had talked, but I have a clear intention. And if you say I will not talk to one time, second time, third time, but the partner continues to chase you with that. So it means she has a problem or he has a problem. So if they both have the problem, you live consciously. Okay, whatever you want. Mentally you say, okay, it gives me an opportunity to evolve. Let me have a resilience and tolerance, endurance. That is where the Eastern wisdom comes. Oh, the dad said you something. Okay, I have already understood his nature, and that is the way. I have understood the nature of the partner. That is okay. That is okay. That is okay. I told you the story of Socrates. His wife was cruel, and he used that as an opportunity. So I have to use the unconscious world outside as an opportunity to evolve. Oh, here is a power of endurance I should apply. And if the honey loves you and takes care and understands, nothing like it. So it means your worldly life is also good and your evolution is also good. So now coming to the main crux of the topic, it is the mind that causes the delusion. It is my perception causes the delusion. Perception plus projection causes the delusion. Perception plus projection causes the likes and dislikes, it causes the attachment, and the moment you have an attachment, your mind has converted that situation, that person, that relationship as an object. Did I tell you that object in Sanskrit is known as Vishaya? Vishaya means the poisonous object. So the father, mother, or anyone did not become the poisonous object. My mind has projection. That projection converted that person as a crazy person. It is a poisonous object. Otherwise, the person is a person. So I have to take care of my mind. I have to take care of my mind.
It's such a crazy world that we live in.
Yes.
Like if you are living consciously, you are witnessing so much craziness.
You say, change the statement. You see, you are living in one of the most beautiful world you can ever live.
Okay.
You have an opportunity to evolve. You have an opportunity to rise in consciousness. You have an opportunity. Say for example, your dad is crazy. He's giving you an opportunity because there is only one dad. You cannot be without. You have to communicate. So now you communicate consciously. Your mind has not converted your dad into a poisonous object, and then you are ready to bear, to endure, and gradually your level of resilience goes to a level your dad cannot bear it. So now what is going to happen? Your dad also going to change because of you, because you are not reacting. You're not angry, you're not upset. So the world is an opportunity for you.
Okay.
World is an opportunity for you to, because I was hearing some news that I block everything. Okay, so if I block the trade with you, then okay, what should I do? Should I blame and complain? Then I'm wasting my time. Let me find other opportunity to trade to someone else. Finished. That attitude is required. That resilience is required. In order to have that resilience, the mind is not foolish. It is not a foolish mind. It is not a deluded mind. In any situation, in any condition, in any relationship, the life is going to be beautiful. Oh, why beautiful? You have a greater endurance, say, for example, with your dad today. That level of endurance is going to benefit you in the future. Because the world is like this. World is living unconsciously. So when the world is living unconsciously, you will be hit by the world in the form of a situation, event, people, relationship. I gave you an example. My class school friend, who became an engineer and then he wanted to marry, and with a lot of effort he found 32 criteria to find a soulmate. He found it, he went to Europe and he was thrown out. And do you remember?
Yeah, because he missed the two.
So the master is saying, now you see how simple. We are returning to that verse. The master is saying, turn your mind to the real self. Change your mind. First line, and then it says, oh foolishness. Oh, a foolish mind. Change your mind. Change the direction of your mind. The fight is going outside with the neighbors. You know that you cannot take part into that. Better to move inside your home and rest. But yes, if anyone is wiser, you can communicate. But if no one is wiser, there is no one. You cannot control that.
Yeah.
So master is saying, recognize. You have to. There are many meanings. First, I'm telling them, move the mind. Move the mind inside means I recognize that there is a real self and there is a false I. There is a real I, there is a false I. If there is a real I, yesterday, you know what happened? There was a big storm, and for 2 hours the light has gone. Should I get upset? I was working on the computer and finished instantly on the desktop. There is no power backup. Should I? Should. So I said, okay, this is a good opportunity to meditate almost for 2 hours. The world outside is going, but if I get upset, it is a foolish mind. So the master is saying you have to recognize the real self. Now where the problem comes, I recognize the false I as the real I. No wisdom except the Eastern wisdom says first you have to understand. All your thought, speech and action manifest and expresses from the false I. So first you have to recognize what is this false I. You have to understand what is real I, and then you have to start moving the mind to the real I. If you don't move, the false I is caused by the foolish mind. And now the problem with the foolish mind is it creates a hamster wheel. Why? Now I got upset with that friend who told me that I'm breaking the relationship after 30 years. We have already broken the relationship. I broken the relationship with my dad, with my grandfather, then with my uncle. I told you the story with my elder brother. So should I sit down and continue to think and brood over and get upset? That is the way the life is. I have to accept the truth. Now what happens? I don't accept this truth. Why I don't accept the truth? Because I claim that this is false. At least the God should not take the life of any person whom I love. I want to control the God through my thinking, through my mind.
Yeah.
Or the existence. So now see the other understand. I have to ask a question to myself, how many times I get upset with a person? How many times I was upset in the past 5 years with different people? Maybe 1,000 times. So are those people to blame to make me upset, or is it my mind? If it is
Your
my
mind.
mind, then I have to change my mind. But if I continue to get upset and anxiety and reaction and duality and a conflict every day, every week, every month, every year, and that means I have created a hamster wheel, that mental looping of delusion, and I have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
If I have to find out my real self. So this master sarcastically says that when the appointed time of the death comes and you start thinking about your past life, you will recognize and realize that what you have been doing is because of your foolish mind, because of your delusion. That is why you are suffering. And then you are asking God, please grant me another 5 years. God says, no, I have given you ample opportunities. I have given you ample opportunity. First time you got upset, recognition. Did you recognize? No. Second time you got upset with the second person, I got you another opportunity. But did you recognize? No. And ultimately I said this world is crazy. My mind, because of misunderstanding, because of delusion, because of ignorance.
Yeah.
So it means that is why the master says I have to recognize my real self. So this master, right, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, that is a, now you see a literal translation means that you worship or meditate on the God whose name is Govinda. Bhaja Govindam, that is a literal translation. Now you go deeper. Contemplation and reflective meaning. So Govinda means those who has a self-mastery over the sense organs in the mind. Oh, is that the God? Yes, that is the state of the consciousness. You see the beauty of the writing of all the Sanskrit writing is basically, it is a spiritual writing. So it has a multiple meaning. So if you study simply by borrowing a book and a translation, you won't get anything. That is why we have a master and a disciple, master and a seeker tradition.
Yeah.
Because the master has to personalize that teaching. So how I personalize? I simply said, turn the mind within. The world is outside, you look inside. Whenever you are having a problem of anxiety, remember, move the mind inside. Why move the mind inside? To find the real self. So gradually when you are moving the mind inside, you start separating the real self and the false I. Even if you don't know the real I, you will be able to separate it. What is this separation? This is the master. All the teachings from the master, I'm just teaching from that knowledge I received from my master and from the teachings of other masters. So what it means? What it means? Recognize the real self, what it means. Now I gave you the literal meaning. Literal meaning, worship the God, worship the God, worship the God, O foolish mind. Don't worship your relations, don't worship your anything of the world. It will not fetch you any peace and happiness. So very literal. But then I said Govinda means those who have a mastery over the sense organ. You don't allow the sense organ in the mind to project the likes and dislikes. But here I make it very simple. I said, just turn your mind to yourself, recognize the real self. It means there is a false I and there is a real I. So it means there is a separation. We don't make it a separation. We claim the false I is the real I. How come? Can you give me examples? You every day. Everyday example. How many times you were upset? Maybe 5 times today. So every time you got upset, it is because of the false I.
Yeah.
First you recognize you got upset, you reacted, you blamed, you complained. Otherwise you should have maintained your composure and peace. You could not maintain it. It is because of the deluded mind. Oh, it is because. So it means, I have to recognize this is a false I, yes. So it means I have to separate. How to separate? Can I separate outside? No, you have to separate in the mind with the knowledge. The mind says, I don't understand. I see the light here, coming from the bulb. That is the result. That is perception. That light is just, I'm giving an example. That light is a thought, feeling, emotion. Just taking that example. Then there are two things. One is the electricity, other is the bulb. I don't recognize it. There is a light and there is no light. I take it together, I mess up. So the same way I mess up the real I and the false I. So when I mess up with the real I and the false I, whatever the thought comes, that is my perception, that is the light. The thought says you are crazy. There is a problem.
Yeah.
Are you understand? Little deeper, but very, I just bring the clarity by giving an example. Now see, without electricity, you cannot have a light. Without the bulb, also you cannot have a light.
So without the real self, you cannot have the false I?
You cannot have a thought. You cannot have a feeling.
So therefore, all of that is the real self.
Yes. The false I means the body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego. They are the instruments, like the bulb is an instrument.
Yeah.
And the real self is pure consciousness. Without consciousness, you cannot have any thought, feeling, and emotions. But that recognition of thought, feeling, and emotion comes by the body, mind, sense organ. Consciousness does not need any thought, it is complete in itself.
So it's really not two separate things.
Now they are definitely separate in a sense. First, we have to separate. How we will to separate? Am I the body? No. Am I the mind? No. Am I the ego? No. Am I the real self? Yes. So first I have to separate the two, and my mind should settle into the real I, and after then see what happens. Is that a kind of an awakening? Answer is yes. And then what happens? Then I see the electricity manifest in the form of light. It is not the problem of the bulb. If the electricity is there and the instrument is right, then it will manifest the light. So instrument is my mind. Is my mind follows the right order? No, it is deluded, so it will cause problem. This is, so the master says, yes, move the mind within, or recognize that, or you can say recognize there is a false I and real I. And then master says, oh foolish mind. Why he says mind is a foolish? Because I don't recognize there are two entities, electricity and the bulb, which manifest in light. So I have to recognize there are two entities. One is pure consciousness. That has nothing to do with right, wrong, good. It is incomplete in itself. When it passes through the body, mind, sense organ, that sense organ, that mind gets attached in likes and dislikes. It causes the delusion. That is why it is a foolish mind. So I have to move the foolish mind into a wisdom mind.
Got it. Girish, hang on 1 second. I have to use the restroom.
Okay. Restroom, yes. Very good. Restroom and restfulness, restlessness. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Murmate, Sannahite Samprapte Sannahite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukkrana Karmi, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Murmate. Samprapti Sannahiti. So you see that. So you see foolish mind. Direct. So master is addressing directly the deluded mind. Why? He is addressing the mind that prioritizes temporary over the eternal is fundamentally misguided. What it means? Take the same metaphor. The electricity is there, but I switched off. I disconnected the electricity from the bulb. There is no light. So it is not the fault of the bulb. Disconnected. So I have not to be disconnected with my real I. If I am disconnected, I will always take the false I as the real I, and that is the deluded state. So delusion does not, or foolishness does not mean unintelligent. It means misdirected intelligence. Understand that. So we don't say that a scientist is not a genius. Yes, he is a genius in the objective world. So we are saying that can you redirect your intelligence within you to see that separation of the real I with the false I? Your deluded mind will stop. And in the third and the fourth line, the master uses a sarcastic metaphor. Samprapte sannahite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukrunna karane. I told you the story. This master who wrote this text was walking into the street of the oldest city in the world, which is Banaras. Oldest city in the world, very well organized. So there he saw on the bank of a Ganges river a 70-year-old guy
Wireless caller.
No, I will not pick up. So he was repeating constantly, framing the grammar rules of the Sanskrit. At the age of the 70, you are still repeating the rules of the grammar. You should have studied something which should have taken you to a higher consciousness, which should have dropped your delusion. So that is the metaphor. So the master, sorry. So the master is saying, oh old guy, you are still repeating and craving the grammar. You are on the verge of the death. You have found the wisdom from the book instead of repeating the rules of the grammar. So what he is pointing out, death is the ultimate reality check that put everything into perspective. So I should accept the mortality as a fact, not just a concept. Mortality of the body. So it doesn't mean to create a morbid fear, but a healthy urgency about what truly matters. You're going to die. You continue to blame and complain and react to everything in the world outside every day. 5 complaints every day, 5 reactions every day, 150 per month, 1800 per year. You have lived 50 years of your life, almost 100,000 complaints. Is this the life you want to live? Can you not change the mind? That is the meaning. I gave you a 150,000 score is very less. Is very less. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrun karani. So the master is saying you have to get rid of this. You have to get rid of this delusion of the mind.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I got an understanding that the self-awareness is the beginning of Eastern wisdom and self-awareness is the end of Eastern wisdom. What? Self-awareness is the beginning. So I notice, I observe the thought, feeling and emotions in my mind. I observe the body, mind, intellect and ego. That is self-awareness with a small s is the beginning. So I have to recognize first how this false I is working in me. And the self-awareness is the end, the self with a capital S. So from the small I, that is false I, to the biggest I is the self-awareness is the end of yoga. That self-awareness is known as the awakening. But during that path, we move from the small to the big self-awareness. We have to cross many bridges, many challenges, and those challenges present in the mind that I explained to you a couple of times. Never forget perception, normal perception, baseline of the perception with butter. What is this perception with the butter? Butter of likes and dislikes. So that perception has converted into a projected perception. And that projected perception says, oh, this guy is crazy, this guy is good. Oh, that projected perception says, oh, what should I do? I had 30 years of friendship with this guy. Now he says, hell with you. Thank you. Heaven with you. Finished.
Yeah.
Why? I recognize it is a projection. Projection of likes and dislikes. So that projection, in that projected perception, mind wraps the reality. Mind covers the reality. So when it covers that reality, you believe getting that person means finally being seen and fulfilled. What it means? The mind projected perception says, oh, she is beautiful and cute. Then my mind says she is perfect. Then my mind says, let me have a friendship. So now mind has created a delusion. So let us have a friendship. So the mind that she agrees in the beginning and then she says, shut up. Your mind is settled, you are not. You have to separate the two. You have to separate the two, I told you. Bulb and electricity. Mind and consciousness. Without consciousness, you cannot have a thought. Without the mind, you cannot have a thought. So when you recognize that thought, feeling and emotion does not come from the consciousness, it is the product of the mind. How come? Because of the projected perception of likes and dislikes, it caused the attachment and that is causing the problem. Oh mind, let me understand you. Why you caused this attachment? Because I was infatuated with the likes and dislikes. So I kept on thinking, and when I kept on thinking, my mind says, let me put into action. How to put it into action? Let me get the phone number from the Facebook or Instagram, etc., or from the live meeting, Lord. I have heard that people have committed suicide because their followers decreased or increased. Unnecessary.
Wow.
So the projected perception, it is a creation of the mind. If I don't get her, I will regret it forever. Really forever? Or it means she will live forever? You will live forever? But the mind cannot think in that direction. When mind is deluded, you don't think.
Yeah.
You don't think with the clarity.
Yeah.
Oh, if I don't get her, I regret it forever. Yes, you regret forever. So you are living for forever. The false I cannot live forever. The real self is living forever. So I have to settle myself in that real I which lives forever. It is only possible if I get rid of this delusion. This is the first message. We will go to the second verse. I hope you are progressing into the second verse in the next week. So it is the attachment. Now, attachment has another problem. When we are attachment, it repeats itself first in the form of a thought and feeling, and the thought and the feeling are being repeated inside my mind, prompts me to act. And that action results into anxiety, duality, and a conflict. What is that action? Let me call her, but she is not picking up the phone. The way I did not pick up any one phone, during this session. Otherwise, everyone is dear to me. But why should I pick up the phone? So what happens, because the mind is deluded with the thoughts and feeling, that creates a bad expectations. It has a bad expectation. She will always be with me forever. Really? Does it make a sense? No, it makes a sense for younger generation. Gen Z. This dog who is attending my session, he heard that, I was talking about something else, another text, and after 3 months, he is doing very good. To change your position?
Yeah.
So what he did, I loved it. What he did, he was living in a dorm with a girlfriend, studying in a medical school. And after 3 months, he told me that, it was challenging, but I thought to live alone. So I chose another dorm where I can live alone, and I don't want anyone to disturb me. If I choose, I can do it. I don't choose, I cannot do it. He is very young. He is already 24, 25, possibly in third or fourth year. So I have a bad expectation because of the deluded mind. And there, if I apply the wisdom, I can change myself. So I have to discuss every day with my own mind. What I have to discuss, my friend, am I creating suffering? Did I create suffering today while living my personal, professional, social, and family life by projecting expectations onto the reality rather than seeing what is actually happening? Can I change that expression? Am I creating suffering by putting a blackout curtain to prevent the sun to manifest in my room? That sun is the real self. So I put the blackout curtain of deluded projections and expectations. Then I cannot see what is right and good. And this young guy, I said, you are doing wonderful. We will progress. We will progress. So it is all about the knowledge. You have to separate in your mind. So the Eastern wisdom, it simply says 3 things, and then you can break up into sub parts and sub concepts and principles. First principle is, I don't know, let me know it. It is a great statement. If I know everything, you are responsible for my stress and suffering. You did everything. Now I have come to you for a solution. Your mind is already deluded. You are not ready to listen. So how do you claim that you don't know? Let me know it. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
What I'm saying? I'm saying that you are already filled with lot of expectations You have a tremendous attachment, deep attachment. You want to settle the score with a lot of people in the world, and now you say, I don't know how to settle the score with them. Eastern wisdom says, move the mind within, leave everything in the world. First, move the mind into the state of the calmness, and you are not ready. So, even if you are asking the same question, I don't understand, let me understand it. What you don't want to understand, what you are what I said, I don't know, let me understand. So, what I don't know why you cheated me. That you are a non-seeker. You are a non-seeker. That is, Eastern wisdom is very clear about. You cheated me, I want to know why you cheated me. Eastern wisdom says, I don't know how come my mind has arrived at this conclusion. Is it possible to change the mind? So when you come with that intention, you are a seeker in the very first session, and you will change. Question is the same. I don't know, let me know it. But question comes with a different intention. One is directed outside and one is directed to yourself. No, but I don't have that attitude. So practice Mangalacharan, practice mantra. Don't leave the mala practice on any day. Just do it. Just do it every day without fail. Your mind will definitely react to you. Nothing is happening, something is happening, now it is habitual, but don't leave it. I never left for 10 years. And still I find the time, I still keep the mala, and whenever I find, I do it. I have modified it in many ways. I have given you 2 modifications.
Yeah.
And then I started, my mala is my segments of the fingers. Segments of the fingers.
Oh, yeah.
I will talk about it. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. I never left it. So it puts me. So did I say very clearly? The first step is, I don't know, let me know it. What is your intention? What you don't know, you want to know. I want to know that, many people come to me, oh, can you help me? Can you, here also. In India it was frequent, but here it is still there. So they say, oh, this guy seems to be a spiritual guy and he can change the mind of my soulmate. Now because my soulmate has been liking someone else, so you change the mind of my soulmate. I said, that is not my job. Why don't you change your mindset? Yes, 2 people have approached me. Oh, can you pray? I said, I will pray, but I don't promise the result. Because the very prayer for you will help me much more than it helps you. One guy in front of me said that you seem to be a crazy. I said, yes. Yes. So understand clearly, you have to reflect on this. I don't know, let me know it. So what is your intention behind? Intention means what is your desire behind. Now if you say, I cannot change my intention, do the mala practice. That is what I thought, and it is working. I hope it will continue to work. And it will take you to the higher level. Or you can practice the Mangalacharan mantra. I have talked about that many a time. The second step, once I understand my desire is to look within me, to recognize the real self, to look within me, I have to do some practice to change my deluded mind. My mind goes back to the world outside again and again. Mala practice, Mangalacharan practice will definitely help me to move the mind within. With that strong conviction, you do it.
Yeah.
Then the second step is that I don't understand, let me understand. And then we understand the very process. How come this mind can change within and start moving within? The moment the mind settles within, it is aware. With that presence, it recognizes and observes and understands what these thought, feeling, and emotions are not me. Then who is me? That consciousness behind. This light is not present in the bulb. No, light is present in the bulb. That's why we say, 120 volt. That is why we say 60 volt. No. Without that electricity, it cannot show the 60 or 100 volt. That electricity is consciousness.
Yeah.
So the master makes us understand step by step that that is, the more we have an understanding, the mind naturally moves within. Oh, I am talking, it is because of the conscious entity I am. Consciousness is there even in your pet. What happened to your dog, my friend? I don't see.
She's right here.
Oh, she is right here. Okay.
He's here.
Sitting calmly. Very good.
They're talk about attachment. Pets are the perfect example of attachment. They get so attached to their masters. It's so funny. So attached.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Stop feeding them and see if they like you. I never forgot that. That was so funny.
So if you stop feeding your mind with the specific thoughts, you can be attached to anyone. You can be attached to a girl or a boy. You can be attached to your dad and a mom. You can be attached to your wealth. You stop feeding, then see the wealth starts running after you. Then check, does the dad run us after you? What happened to my son? Dad is always busy in his own work. He will never come. Hey, are you okay? Okay. Yes, I'm leaving it. I have a lot of work to do. Friend, they will leave you. So that is the second step where I said, my intellect should have 100% conviction that there is a real I and there is a false I. The master helps in that exploration all the time in every principle, but then the third step is left. Third step is what? No, I don't experience, practice it. Practice meditation to experience it. So when you experience, not only you have a conviction, you live into that state of higher awareness, the journey continues. But journey won't continue if you don't analyze every day and reflect on that how many times you had the moments of anxiety, blame, complaint, reaction in your life, and you don't contemplate and reflect on that, you don't find the cause is not outside but inside you. Oh, so you are hit by the world and you became unconscious, you became deluded. The world is going to hit you all the time, every day, many a times. Let the world hit you and you remain calm, unfazed, relaxed, joyful. Thank you, Dad. I'm more crazy than you think, Dad.
It's true.
So the girl has come in your life for a few days. She left. She is not answering your call. Thank you, God. Are you teaching me the endurance? The word is hitting me. Yes, hitting me to teach something. Word is not hitting me to cause the suffering because of the separation from the friend or the girl or the opposite sex. So what happens now, when even if you think like this, what happens? Your mind starts moving within.
Yeah.
It is rested. It is calm in the joy. Then your mind reveals within you. If you are consistent, the mind further reveals the wisdom. Mind reveals the wisdom that I did not bond with that girl whom I am attached. Yes, that is true. I was born at a different place with a different parents, and she is born with a different parents. For example, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the life, without knowing, by fate, I met her, okay, by me. Then I had a desire, fate and desire. Fate is unconscious pattern which you cannot change, but desire. So because of the fate you met, and the desire is projection. The mind is deluded, and you feel that you are rejected. You feel insulted. That is your interpretation. That is your projection. Then what happens in that revelation? Existence continue to hit me with these examples. Why? I want more endurance. I want more resilience until I leave that sense of projection from my mind to live in a higher awareness, to be in peace and happiness.